I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it, cause
what is going on, family? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you guys clicking in and supporting, and this is going to be an awesome day today because I'm starting week 1 of my new phase, which I'll be releasing to you guys. I just want to beta test this 1 week, do a little bit of tweaks and little things there within the program before I do release it to you guys, but be on the lookout for that. But right now I'm about to get my health in check, so I'm about to hit some Genesis, which is a green supplement, a high performance multi Triumph, and Tritune, which is my fish oil, and I'm getting these things in along with doing other things like foam rolling, working on my mobility, and working on my recovery like sleep and regulating my volume, because I want to be able to bulk. I want to be able to progressively overload and make progress throughout this entire phase. So I'm fully committed to the bulk. I don't mind gaining a little bit of body fat. I want to make that progress. So it is something I feel like a lot of people don't take seriously, and that's where you're going to be able to have that longevity. You're committing in the long term, making sure your health is in check, making sure that you're always able to comfortably perform, because if you don't perform that well, you can't increase volume, you can't induce muscle hypertrophy, and those are the small things that matter. So you can have the best training and nutrition protocol in the world, but if you can't execute it properly, you're not going to get the most out of it. Other than that, I have something awesome coming. Just gotta wait for the package, and then I'll see you guys once it gets in. So babe just got back. We got some packages, as you can see. She got hers there. She got that skincare routine kit. I've been doing it. I need to be more consistent with it though. If you guys want to check out her channel, she gives out her whole skin routine. She used to have really bad acne. I know some people struggled with it. I get a little bit, but it's definitely been working. I just gotta be more consistent. And as you guys can see, the new drip just came in. I'm super stoked. This is sample number 1 with these, but I'm super happy with the stitching, super happy with the material. So they're a little bit different than the last, their collection number 1. So the second collection, I went with 100% cotton, but a higher quality cotton, because these are so soft to wear. I want to make sure they're really comfortable, where the other ones had 5% spandex or elastane in them. So I went with a high quality cotton. I'm very happy with the material, the stitching and everything. And what I'm very pleased about are these. I'm super excited about the crew necks. So I did go with the fleece inside. They're a little bit thicker, but you guys can see they're a little bit more like premium crew neck. Like you can see how the material flows here like this, versus some of them are just kind of like puffy and baggy. I feel like they kind of look cheap. I went more with the clean cut look. So I'm going to use this to pump up tonight, and I'll throw it off once I get the pump going. But I love these. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know what you think. But I'm super happy with these. I think I want to leave these as is. Probably leave these as is. Also, the arm on this, I think I want to leave them this long, because last time I with them had them a little bit shorter, but I want to give you the option, because you can always just curl it up one. And I like to do that with my shirts, depending on the style I want to rock that day. But man, I think these are aesthetic. Woo. Guys, I'm too hyped right now. Just something about when you like kind of create something, you're a part of something, just makes me feel good, especially like that. I don't know, I like things like that, where it's more sentimental. That's why I'm hyped right now, rocking the new sample.
Oh fuck, that's lit.
Do you like it, bro?
Yeah, it's so sick.
Thanks, bro.
Jesus.
Bro, feel the material. Oh yeah.
I like feeling it.
Yo, keep feeling it.
That is fucking nice though, damn. Oh, word. Shiny.
Welcome to the gym, guys. We're hitting day 2 of phase number 2 here, and we're starting off with barbell rows. We want to start off with our compound movement, make sure we can get the most amount of tension possible starting out while we have that energy, and then one with free weights when we first start off, because we do have the energy for stability. So I'm going to be doing barbell row. One of the mistakes I see here is you guys just lower back swinging, using a lot of momentum. Looks like I don't even know what's going on, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't control it. You can have an explosive concentric when you're pulling it up, but make sure you are keeping tension on your back, controlling it on the way down. Personally, I like to go just inside of the knurlings of the bar with my pinkies, pull back, squeeze my shoulder blades together, and then control it on the way down. So I like to focus on the squeeze of my lats and pull back with my elbow versus focusing on my hands. And that's when you can really activate your back, using that strong mind muscle connection. So let's get it.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
All right, the next exercise we're doing is the banded wide grip T-bar row. And how we band this here, like this, is that it's gonna make the starting of the movement a lot easier. And then as we go up, it's gonna go harder. So it's gonna save you energy. So when you get to the top, you're gonna have a lot of tension when you're back up there. Versus if you did it the opposite way, it's gonna be super hard. And I find that a lot of the time when you're doing these movements, a lot of people lose that range of motion when they try and lock out their back. And you wanna make sure you're training with full range of motion, even if it's with lighter weight, because it's gonna be better for hypertrophy. So, one thing to think about when you are doing back movements is think about how the back functions. So the back works with shoulder extension. So anything that moves your shoulder joint back this way, come across this way, and we're doing a hybrid movement when we are having the wider grip. And we're focusing on pulling our shoulders back and squeezing at the shoulder blades, coming down and stretching at the lats. So we're gonna get that full range of motion. I find the band will really help this way. Snatch grip shrugs, and the reason why we're doing the snatch grip is because having your arms out is going to have higher activation in your traps. And another little secret to activate your traps a little bit more is to do a little lean forward about 15 degrees but still pull straight up towards the ceiling. You're going to continue to activate your traps a lot more that way. Personally, I'm using straps, and where I recommend to use these is when you feel like your forearms or your grip is actually holding back the muscle you're trying to target. So I'm trying to target my traps. I want to make sure they get a workout. I don't want my forearms to fail and then I won't get a workout in my traps. So I'm going to use these. I feel like they're a great tool to use, but don't use them throughout the whole workout. See where you can just go without the straps and throw them in when you need them. One last thing with this one too is that you don't want to just use your lower back and momentum. You want to go up, squeeze, make sure you control it on the way down. Actually feel my traps as I'm lowering the weight down, and make sure you use the way you can control. That's one of the biggest things. You like see bros in there, you know, that's what you look like, you know, the bros that have been doing this is what you're looking like. You don't want to look like a cuck. The next thing we're moving on to is dumbbell hammer curl, 2 sets of 10, and the hammer curl, when you curl up with a neutral grip, you're gonna be working more of your outer head of your biceps, so the one that people see, and then your forearm here. So when you're in close, this is the one that's gonna show a lot more if you wanna work on the aesthetics, where most bicep exercises actually work the short head, the inner head. So it is good to specifically target the outer head because it is gonna work the inner head as well, just not as significant. So you see a lot of guys that can pump up, you'll see a big muscle here, and then the peak doesn't come out as much on the outside. You might have little baby forearms, but they might have a really big right and then a really small left. One last little secret is when you're gripping the dumbbell, if you want to check this over here, is don't put your hand all the way to the top because it's going to take away from your forearms. Hold it right in the middle of the dumbbell so you don't have that rest, and it'll continue to work it a little bit more. So, tip of the day.
Just the tip, bud.
Just the mushroom tip. Moving on to hanging leg raises. This is a really good movement if you do it properly, but it's really easy to mess up. So make sure you guys are doing it properly. You want to focus on bringing your hips up. You don't want to just focus on bringing your leg up like this you want to focus on actually curling your hips and coming up and shortening at the torso. Like you're coming and you're squeezing your torso together, but using your legs to do that. Lastly, you don't want to use any swinging. You want to make sure you're keeping tension on the abs and you're controlling it the entire time. You're only doing yourself a disservice if you are cheating. So if you want to be a bro, you can. So the rep range is actually supposed to be 10 to 20. I only got 8 there because I'm stopping at RPE 7. That means 3 reps before failure. So I want to make sure I am hitting that intensity. I'm not over fatiguing myself because I do want to progress every single week. If I just push myself to the max, reach failure every single set, I'm not going to be able to progress next week because I'll already be tired. You can't gain strength that fast because the lowest increment is a 5-pound dumbbell moving up to the next one. So a lot of the time what people do is they start a new program, they burn themselves out within the 1 to 2 weeks, and then the 3rd and 4th week they have nowhere else to go. They think they hit a plateau, but it's because they had the intensity too high. So make sure you leave reps in the tank. So stop 1 to 2 reps before failure, and then if you're starting even a first week of a mesocycle, you can stop around 2 to 3 reps before failure, and that gives you more room to grow. It gives you more room to progress and increase your volume over time versus going balls to the wall super hard and just getting rhabdo. Moving on to Russian twists, I'm going to be doing a more advanced version where I'm going to be having my feet up and then coming up halfway through a crunch. I'm going to be taking my arms, putting them straight out, twisting with my body, and hitting the ground side to side. If that's too hard for you, what you can do is start off with your feet on the ground without any weight, and then just twist side to side. And then you can start adding weight from there to make it a little easier too. If you want to bring the weight in, you can. But one thing I want to emphasize is don't take the weight and just move it with your arms side to side. You really want to get that twisted, really activate your core so you can work your obliques, your lower abs, and your upper abs because of all the different ways of tension you're putting on your abs. First of all, you're doing it through your legs by holding them up. You're crunching your core in the middle by coming up like this, and then you'll be activating more of the sides when you do the twist. So don't sell yourself short. Like I always say, I gotta stop saying that, but emphasize using good form and then starting to increase the weight. I promise you, you're gonna get a lot better results that way. You're gonna be able to progress even faster if you do it properly. As you guys can see, I'm not really good at these, but I do want to get better at them. And don't be scared to work on your form, work on things that you're not good at, because over time you will improve, and it's only going to benefit you. So sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone. And don't worry, anyone judging isn't worth your time anyways, and just leave your ego at the door. Be proud of you being in here and just trying to better yourself. Everyone's in here for the same reason, to improve themselves, improve their fitness, improve their physical and mental. So that's all that matters. So I'm gonna get better. To toe press, to work your more overall calf, because it is broken into 2 parts, your gastrocnemius and your soleus. You want to work more of the entire calf. You want to perform a calf raise more with the knee extended. So make sure your knee is straight when you perform these. If you can now work more overall, if you want to focus more on the lower part of your calf, you make sure that your knees are bent, and you do that on a seated calf raise machine. Nothing too complicated here. Other than that, I just recommend trying to avoid the stretch reflex. So when you're performing the movement, make sure that you're taking a nice little pause at the stretch and then pushing forward, because if you go here, your connective tissue is going to give you some momentum. So to take that away, make sure you do that slight pause and then making sure that you keep all the tension on your calf muscle. wrap, fam. And you guys can see that this workout program isn't the conventional pull day because my body is not balanced. I have priorities that I want to bring up. Personally, I need to bring up my chest, so I'm going to prioritize that by having more volume over chest versus other body parts. I see a lot of the times, oh, I really need to work on my chest, and they're like, but I don't want my back to lag behind, so they start adding more sets, and then before you know it, the volume's going to be equal between the two, and the proportion is never going to change. So to make those changes, you actually do have to have that prioritization. You can still progress your back, still progressively overload it, but you don't have to have as much volume in those areas. So right now, you guys already know I'm in the second phase of my chest men's physique specialization program. More emphasis on chest. I did drop back the chest volume from last phase because it was a little bit too high. I feel like this approach is better, a little bit more arms this phase, abs and calves. So those are things that I need to personally work on. But I do have legs there, I do have back in there, and overall I'm just trying to improve my personal physique. So make modifications if you want. I am going to release this program for free for you guys once I tweak it after this beta testing. Other than that, let me know how everything's going with your guys' lean bulk, if you're cutting or anything like that. I want to provide more valuable content for you guys. I'm just not sure what information you guys want, but I'll be happy to provide it all and document it while I get this bulk going, continue this bulk, and bring my best before I start prep to hopefully hit Worlds next year. Low key, if you made it this far. So I appreciate it. If you guys made it this far, subscribe, comment, like, share this video, share the channel. There's been a lot of love lately, so we gotta spread team lifts. See you guys in the next one.